Assalamualaikum. Ab- it's me, Abdullah Arijo, and my roll number 2K70LCS49. Today, my assignment subject name is compiler construction. Here is my assignment course outline, type checking, types of bugs, introduction to compiler construction, and programming language translator. Type checking. Type checking and type conversion. The type checking means checking that each operation should receive paper number of arguments and of paper data type like A, B, J, D, and are basically and for data types based operation, and if any variable in this A is equal B, J plus T is other than int and false, then compiler will generate type error. A type is a set of value together with a set of operations that can be performed on them. The purpose of type checking is to verify that operation performed on a value are in effect permissible. The type of an indef- indefter is typically available for declaration, but we may have to keep track of the type of intermediate expression. Two way of two ways of the type checking. One, dynamic checking, static type checking. Dynamic type checking. It is done at runtime. It uses concept of time tag which is stored in each data object. Example, an integer data object contains its type and values attribute, so operation only be performed after type checking sequence incorrect, then an error will be generated. Per and prologue follow. Basically, dynamically type checking because data types of variable a plus b in this case may be changed during program instruction. So the type checking must be done at runtime. Static type checking. Static type checking is done at complete time. Information needed at compile time is provided by declaration by language structure. The information required includes one for each operation, the number, author, and data type of its arguments. Number two, for each variable's names and data types of data object. Example A plus B. In this type of A and B variables must not be changed. 3 for each contents, name and data types and value. Constant in x is equal to 8. Constant float x is equal to 2.087. In this data type, the value and the name is specified, and in further, if check value assigned should match its data type. Types of bug and error or error. The program, the program, the programmer should know the fact that there is a very less chances that program will run perfectly in first time. It doesn't matter how nicely the designing is done and how much care is taken while coding. One can't say that the program would 100% error free. So the programmer has to make efforts to detect and rectify any kind of error that are present in the program. But before detecting and removing errors, it is much more necessary that the programmer should know about the type of error in programming. Types of errors in programming. The types of error are classified in four categories. These are syntax error, logical errors, runtime error, latent error. Syntax error, any violations of rules and poor understanding of the programming language result in syntax error. The compiler can detect such errors. If syntax errors are present in the program, then the completions of program fails, and is and it and is terminated after showing the list of errors and the line number where the errors have occurred. In some cases, the line number may not actually indicate the correct place of the error. Correction of one or two errors in the program may remove the entire list of errors. Runtime errors. Runtime's errors are the errors that occur during executions of the program. Some examples are dividing by zero errors, insufficient mirror for dynamic memory allocation, refreshing any out of range array element. These are not detected by compiler while completion process the program. These kinds of error will run the produce erroneous result or may cause termination of program. Detection and removal of the runtime error is difficult task. Logical error. As the name of as the name itself implies, these errors are related to the logic of the program. Logical errors are also not detected by compiler and cause incorrect result. This error occur due to incorrect transaction of algorithm in the program, poor understanding of program problem, and the lack of clarity of hierarchy of operators. Consider following statement: if A is equal B, print F equal when and B are false types values. Their array become equal due to transaction errors. The printf call may not execute at all. A statement like while A is equal B might create an infinite loop. Latent error. Latent error are the hidden error that occur only when a particular set of data is used. Consider below example: result A plus B C D. An error occur only when C and D are equal because that will make remainder 0 divided by 0 error. Such error can be detected only by using all possible combination of data. Compiler Compiler constitution. A compiler implement a formal transmission from a high-level source program to a low-level target program. Compiler design can define end to end solution or trickle a defined subset that interface with other compilation tools. Example: pre, pro, processors, assembler, linker design requirement include regionally defined interfaces both internally between compiler components and externally between supporting tool sets. In the early days, the approach taken to compiler design was directly affected by the complexity of the computer language to be proceed the experience of the person designing it, and the resource limitation lead to the need to pass through the source code more than once. A compressor for a relatively simple language written by one person might be a single monolithic piece of software. However, as the source language power grow in complexity, the design may be split into number inter interdependent phases. Separate phases provide design improvements that force improvement on the function in the computation process. Program language translators. A translator is a program language process that converts a computer program from one language to another. It takes a program written in source code and convert it to machine code. It decodes and defines the error during translation purpose of translators. In translate high-level language program into a machine language program that the central processing unit CPU can understand. It also detects errors in the program. Types of translator. There are three types of translator as follows: compiler, interpreter, assembler. Compiler. A compiler is a translator used to convert high-level programming language to low-level program language. It converts the whole program in one season and report error detected after the conversion. Compiler takes times to do its work as a translate high-level code to low-level code all at once and then saves it to the memory. A compiler is processor dependent and platform dependent, but it has been addressed by a special compiler, a cross compiler, and source to source compiler. Before choosing a compiler, user has to define first the introduction instruction set architecture ISA, the operating system OS, and the programming language that will be used to ensure that it will be compatible. Interpreter, just like compiler, is a translator used to convert high-level programming language to low-level programming language. It converts the program once at a time and reports error detected at once. While doing the conversion with this, it is easier to detect error than in a complex. An interpreter is faster than a compiler as it immediately executes the code upon reading the code. It is often used as debugging tools for software development as it can be execute a single line of code at a time. An interpreter is also more portable than a compiler as it is not processor dependent. You can work between hardware architectures. Assembler. An assembler is a translator used to translate assembler language, machine language. It is like a compiler for the assembly language, but interactive like an interpreter. Assembly language is difficult to understand as it is a low-level program language. An assembler translator a level language and assembly language to an even lower level language, which is the machine code. The machine code can be directly understood by the CPU. Thank you.